Hello friends, welcome to this video about Selenium. In this video we are going to discuss some Selenium interview questions and answers. This is part 3. I have taken these questions from my webpage technicalpage.net. This video will cover 10 Selenium interview questions and their answers. Let's begin. The first question is, what are implicit and the explicit weight in Selenium? Implicit weight is a weight in Selenium which once created applies to all the elements. That is why this is also called global weight. It waits until the given time limit before throwing an exception, and the exception is no such element exception. If the element is found before the given time limit, then it moves on ignoring the remaining time of the given time limit. The default wait time is 0 second. And this is an example and the syntax. You can write driver.manage timeouts implicitly wait. Whatever amount of time you want to wait, you can give the time amount here. It can be 5 second, 10 second, 20 second or whatever amount of time. And this is the time unit in seconds. Okay. In this example, this will be 10 seconds. Let's move on to the explicit wait. Explicit wait doesn't apply to all the elements unlike implicit wait. Okay. This waits for a condition such as presence of element located by a locator. Right, this one, or visibility of element located by a locator. Okay, these are some conditions. Okay, this wait also waits until the given time limit for the given condition before throwing exception. Okay, before throwing exception. If the condition is met before the given time limit, then it moves on ignoring the remaining time of the given time limit. And this is the syntax or codes you can write for explicit wait. And this is the element. You can mention the element by XPath or by using other locators. Let's move on to the question number 2. What is the difference between navigate and get? Get is used for opening a web page in a browser. Navigate has multiple purpose. Let's see with examples. So driver.get and the web page URL. This will open the web page. Okay, whichever web page is mentioned here, that web page will be opened. And driver.navigate.to. Okay, this will also open the web page same like this. Okay, you mention the web page inside here. Okay, let me correct this. So I have updated here. So this is how you write the code. Okay, and this will open the web page, whatever web page you mention here. Okay, similarly there are other uses of navigate such as driver.navigate.refresh. So this will refresh the current web page. Driver.navigate.forward, this will take you to the next page, which comes when you click forward icon on the browser window. Let me show you. This is equivalent to this forward icon. When you click this, you get the other page. Okay, so that is this one. And driver.navigate.back. Okay, this will take you to the page which comes when you click back icon on the browser window. Let me show you. So that is equivalent to this one. So when you click this, it will take to the next page which comes after clicking this icon. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. How you handle multiple tabs in Selenium? Okay, so we use driver.getWindowHandle to handle the current tab, just one tab. We use this command. But if we have to handle more than one tabs, then we can use driver dot get window handles. Okay, so how we use this command is we first create a set of open tabs. Okay, this is the command. Okay, you can use, and after that we use iterator. Okay, to switch to the respective tabs. Okay, so this is tab 1, this is tab 1, this is tab 2, and you can switch using this command. Okay, so and after you finish your testing, then you can close all the tabs using this command driver.quit. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. What is the difference between the interface and the abstract class? Okay, let's talk about interface first. In interface, the objects, methods or variables, whatever it is, inside interface are by default public. Okay, and only public visibility can be used. You cannot use other visibility, but if you see in the abstract class, you can use other visibilities also, like public, private, protected, and so on. Okay, the second difference is the visibility should not change when the interface is implemented by any class. Okay, but in the case of abstract class, the visibility might change when an abstract class is inherited by another class. Okay, so here the visibility should be public only, but here the visibility might remain same or might change. For example, a protected can be public. The third point is the methods in interface should be abstract only. The methods inside the abstract class can be abstract or non-abstract. Okay. The fourth difference is the implementing class should define all the undefined methods inside the interface. Okay. But in the case of abstract class, it is not like that. The inheriting class, which is child class, does not need to implement all the abstract methods of the parent class. And if it does not implement all the abstract methods from the parent class, then this child class also becomes an abstract class. Okay, let's see the fifth difference. An interface can extend another interface, and which could be one or many, or a class can implement one or more than one interfaces. Okay, what about abstract class? Let's see. An abstract class can implement interfaces, one or many. Okay, or can extend another class. Okay, which could be abstract or non-abstract, and it can extend just one class only. It cannot extend more than one class. Okay, let's move on to the next point. The variable inside interface are by default public, static, and final. Okay, so the variable must be assigned a value. In the case of abstract class, the variable inside an abstract class can be static, non-static, public, or other visibility. Okay, and it could be final or not non-final, and doesn't need the variable value to be assigned. Let's move on to the next point. Multiple inheritance is possible in interface, but in the case of abstract class, multiple inheritance is possible in abstract class only when it implements multiple interfaces. Okay, but when you are extending the other classes like abstract class or non-abstract class, multiple inheritance will not be possible. Okay, so this is the point. If you try to extend more than one class, multiple inheritance will not be possible. Okay, let's move on to the next point. Interface uses interface keyword to declare the interface. Okay, abstract class uses abstract keyword. Okay, abstract keyword to declare the abstract class. Okay, next point, an interface cannot have a constructor. Okay, an abstract class can have a constructor. Okay, and this point, actually this is not difference, this is the similarity actually. An interface cannot create object, that means it cannot instantiate. Okay, and same thing applies to abstract class also, it cannot create object or cannot instantiate. Okay, so these are the 10 points. Out of these 10 points, these are the differences, 9 points between the interface and the abstract class. Okay, so next move on to the next question. What is method overloading and method overriding? Okay, in method overloading we have more than one methods with the same name but different parameters. Okay, the parameter could be different or they are different in order. Okay, so this is method overloading, and these are some examples. Like this is the method without parameters, this is the same name but it has parameters integer. This is the same name, this method, but it has two parameters, and this method has the same parameters but it is in the different order. Okay, so method overriding. So method overriding happens in inheritance. Okay, this is method overriding, and this happens in inheritance, like when there are two or more classes having parent child relationship. Okay, and in such situations parent class is having a method and child class is also having the same method. Okay, so same, the method name is same. Okay, in such situations when the child class extends the parent class, and if this method is called, then the method from the child class will be called. Okay, so this is what it has mentioned. In such condition, when the method is called, the child method gets precedence, means this method will be called in this example. For example, if you see here, we have called this method. Okay, and we are getting this output. This is a method in child class which is from here. Okay, so this is the example of method overriding. Okay, let's move on to the next question. What is inheritance? Yeah, okay, so we discuss about inheritance in this example also. Okay, so inheritance is a kind of process of establishing. Inheritance is a process of establishing parent child relationship, okay, between the classes. In this, the child class, also called subclass, okay, uses the features, okay, which could be methods, properties, whatever it has, of parent class. Okay, the child class uses the features of the parent class. The parent class is also called superclass. Okay, the child class uses the word extends to use the features of the parent class, and that way a child class can use the code, methods, whatever present in the parent class. Okay, so and these are different types of inheritance: single level, multi-level, multiple, and so on. Okay, so this is the most common one, and this is the multi-level. Okay, and multiple inheritance is as we already discussed, it is not possible in classes, but it can be made possible through interface that we already discussed, and these are some other categories of inheritances. Okay, so this is inheritance. So let's move on to the next question. How can you get a page title in Selenium? To get a page title in Selenium, we use this command driver.getTitle. Okay, if you want to store the title in a variable, then you can use string variable. This is the page title, this is the value of the string variable, and you get that variable from this command. Okay, let's move on to the next question. What is data driven framework? Okay, so it is a framework in which the data and the test code, okay, the test code will be separate, so that the change in the test code will not affect the test data and vice versa. That means the test code and the test data are kept separately, so that whenever you make changes in the test code, that will not affect the test data, and whenever you make change in the test data, that will not affect the test code. Okay, so this is the purpose of data driven framework. Like in practical situations, we use Excel, CSV file, XML file, database, and like that. These are the common things actually to store the data, and we read the data whenever required by the code from these data sources. Okay, let's move on to the next question. What is the difference between the single forward slash and the double forward slash? Okay, so this is the question. In this question we are talking about the XPath. Okay, so there are two ways of writing XPath. One is absolute XPath and the other one is relative XPath. This is the absolute XPath. Okay, in absolute XPath we write the XPath from the very beginning of the HTML. The XPath starts from the root node. Okay, so from the root node all the way to the respective element. Okay, so the XPath will be very long and it will be very complicated, and complex, and there will be high possibility of this XPath being broken, and this XPath is not reliable. And single forward slash is used in, if you see here, single forward slash is used in absolute XPath. Okay, absolute XPath. But double forward slash, okay, this is used in a relative XPath. This XPath is short and there is less possibility of such XPath being broken. Okay, so relative XPath will be more reliable than the absolute XPath. It doesn't start from the very beginning root node. It starts from the point in the HTML from where an unique XPath can be created for the element. And this is an example. Okay, for this element we are creating a relative XPath like this, and as we already mentioned, it is more reliable, like there is less chances of failing compared to the absolute XPath. Okay, so these are the examples. Okay, let's move on to the next question, and this is the last question in this video. Okay, this is question number 10. What is the difference between find element and find elements? Okay, there is a yes word here, so find element and find elements. Okay, so find element will locate or find the first element on the current page. It returns a single web element. Okay, so and this is the code syntax you can use to find the single element using find element. Okay, and find elements, okay, this will find all the matching elements. Okay, all the matching elements on the current web page. It returns more than one elements. We call it a list of web elements. So this is the syntax or code you can use to get the list of elements using find elements. Okay, that is all in this video. In this video we covered 10 Selenium interview questions and answers. Thank you for watching this video.